So what are your thoughts on liability in choosing a product?
I personally have liability insurance, but I still tend to stay away from higher liability. The highest liability one I've probably done, which ended up being one of my first ones, which was actually patented, but at the time I didn't know to look for patents, was a faucet extender. So it just moves water
Oh,
from,
wow.
so if sinks here, it moves water here. It's like a little slide for the water, so it comes out here, closer to
Yeah.
the kid. But I don't do anything that goes on the skin that's consumable. I tend to stay away from electronics unless you're going to go higher end, more expensive product and get tons of samples and work with them, especially if you're getting it from China. I stay away from electronics most of the time. Other than that, usually things with batteries I tend not to do, which
Right.
again would be electronics. But as far as things I stick to, there's no really one good niche or one good category on Amazon. It's all about that individual product. So it's not like, oh, the baseball niche is amazing on Amazon. It's not like that. It's more so this product's really good in this niche, this one's really good in this niche, which is why I personally have a store that's kind of general. It's not in one niche. So I sell a bunch of different
Brands.
products that do
Yeah.
well instead of cornering myself in and forcing myself to sell items with less sales and more competition.
That's interesting insight. What are your thoughts on selling standard size versus oversize? Like my thoughts are like most people are probably going to go with the smaller items, standard, because you get it shipped by a plane. It's quick, easy
Yeah.
to ship, cheaper. Whereas I don't know if you follow Manny Coates with the AMPM podcast. I think he's on pace to do $3 or $4 million this year. He'd actually be a great interview for your channel. He talked about the opportunity being with the oversized, bigger, heavier items because most people, one, they don't have the capital to invest in it, and two, they don't want to wait. For someone just getting started, would you recommend going with standard? Have you ever messed with any oversized? What are your thoughts on that?
I personally don't have any experience with the oversized items. All of mine are pretty small. All of mine fit in a shoebox and are under a pound and a half. But I have been looking at the more expensive, bigger items where I could do that. So possibly in the future. But I'd say if you're starting out, definitely go for the smaller, lighter ones unless you have tons of capital
Yeah.
because you're going to get killed with fees too if you choose a bad product and it sits there.